live. Welcome, one and all, to the holiday edition of Incendiary, where we are going to talk today. We'll have a debate. I don't want to steal someone's thunder, but our debate tonight will include Nick Gibson, the creator of Screecher #1, As the Owl Flies. Nick, how are you tonight?
Fine and dandy, like sour candy.
All right, then.
Is Nick the only one that gets introductions around here now? What the heck?
Give me a moment. Jeez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I said also with
Jumping
and
the
then you
gun.
started asking questions. Also with us tonight are Blue Samurai Zero, and it looks like he's ready to school us on some holiday books.
No, I'm just innocently reading certain comic books, just waiting for the show to start. That's all. Totally.
He's in the
innocent.
festive season. He's got the spirit.
A guy's got to entertain himself, you know.
And
Yeah.
as you can tell, Bandito is here, but sitting
Hail
quietly
and
waiting
well
for
met.
his introduction.
I might
is
keep reading during the stream.
Jake
Oh.
Adams. How are you, Bionic Bro?
I'm doing good, man. Long days, pleasant nights.
That is right, especially and long nights as well, since we are at the solstice, are we not?
Oh, that we are, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we are going to have a good time with this tonight. Let's see. We've got Blue Samurai also in the chat, and Bionic Bra also in the chat. But hey, joining us is Fanta. Thank you for being here, Fanta. Glad to see you. So, Blue, what are we debating tonight?
Oh, holidays and wait, was it holidays? I need to look again. Is it hokey or I forget the word? Oh,
Holiday
crap.
comics.
Okay, holiday
Hits.
comics. Are they hits or are they hokey? And
There you go.
I value this one here. I will tell you what's special about it only if you let me.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Well, I suppose that may depend on which side you're on.
Dang it.
Ooh.
You may not be the moderator this time. I guess that depends on what Jake will now describe for us.
That's right. All right, Phoenix, you are the guest. So what that means is you get to choose who's going to be on your side of the debate. First, we need to know, do you believe that Christmas comics are hokey, or do you think that they are hits?
I think like anything else, when they're done well, they can be fine. But oftentimes they can be kind of hokey. But there are some really good diamonds in the rough. So I guess a middle.
No, you have to pick a side.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
All
the
right.
debate.
Show some fortitude, young man.
All right. Fine. No.
Oh, damn. Okay.
They're cringy.
Oh, not even hokey. They are cringy now. All right.
Yes. They're abomination on humanity, and they should all be burned.
He's adding his own categories. I see that Jay Williams is with us. Happy holidays.
All right, Nick, since you decided to take the side of cringe and hokey, you now get to decide who will be your partner for this debate. And then the last two remaining, you'll choose to see who goes against you in this debate.
Oh,
Last man standing will be the moderator.
I don't know.
Jarek?
I'm really tempted to suck up and pick Dojo-kun. I'm really tempted. Yeah, because like I want the smartest person on the debate, so Dojo-kun.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Wait,
I know
I'm
how to play
about
the
to
game. I
have
know
a
how this game
feeling.
is played.
oh
I know how
man.
this game
Shots
is played.
fired.
I know
So-
how this game is played.
So at first I was like, oh, I don't know, but hey, now that you threw that at me, yeah, heck yeah, let's do it. All
Pardon
right,
me
so
while I
I
feel
only,
something
I only
from.
choose the most powerful weapons. I choose a form of Dojo-kun.
Okay,
Blue
cool.
just kicked himself. He's so defended or
Right.
offended.
Okay. Well, looks
I don't
like we
know how
got
it
it
was
set up.
Dojo-kun.
Was that on
Okay,
purpose?
thank you. I'm finished crying now.
Okay. All right. So,
Show me
Dojo.
on this doll where Phoenix Press hurt you.
all right. So, Nick, like Jake explained, there are three others. There is Jake, Smiling Bandito, and Blue Samurai Zero. From those three, you need to pick two to be your opponents.
Who are the two contestants?
Or you mean who are the dumber ones?
Oh, geez.
Okay. I want this to be a good fight.
Too late for that.
Oh, we're
I know the gloves are already off. Shit.
Why did I wake up and choose violence today? I don't know.
That's exactly right. You said fuck coffee.
Fuck coffee. I'm going straight to the weed. But no. So in order to get, I had the finest opponents. Blue Samurai. I really don't know much about you, but I know Smiling Bandito and Bionic Bro are really two smart cookies, and I want this to be a good fight, so I choose them.
You don't
Oh,
know me that
man.
well.
Okay, so I'm moderator again.
Well, that
He's
means
just,
you get to
he's
show
just,
us
he's
why
just
that.
laying down all the insults tonight.
I know, right?
I'm trying to do a save here. I'm trying to save myself.
Okay, I will start us off by saying this book before you came out in the 80s, I think it was, March 84, and it is the reason why in the Justice League cartoon, which I did not watch all of, but I caught clips of this, why Superman believes in Santa Claus was he met Santa Claus in this book from 84. So in the Justice League cartoon, I forget who they bring home to Ma and Pa Kent because they didn't have anywhere else to go. I want to say
Martian
Flash, but I
Manhunter.
know I'm
It
wrong.
was,
Manhunter.
yeah, it's Martian Manhunter.
Martian
John
Manhunter,
Jones.
that's it. Yes, and his parents, are telling Martian Manhunter about raising Clark and wrapping his presents in lead so that he can't speak and stuff like that. And there's this interaction where he openly is saying, it's basically admitting, yeah, he believes Santa is real, and his parents are all like, okay, and just moving on. It's very
That is
cute.
a very cringy moment. Like I'll be honest, that episode is otherwise good, but it has some really cringy moments. Like the whole Santa Claus is real. It comes across as very authoritarian. It almost seems like an episode from The Boys where Homelander's saying Santa Claus is real, isn't he? And everyone's kind of too scared to that's kind of the way it came across. And the other scene where Superman's trying to do the gifts, it's come on, brah, you're Superman. I don't know.
But to be fair, the comic does exist, so it's technically canon.
There you go.
You got me there.
All right, but don't give in so easy.
There we go.
Wait a minute, I'm calling
Just so you know,
foul.
Jake. Just so you know,
calling
Jake
foul
and
on-
I
on-
are.
I'm sorry.
That's all good. Jake and I are undefeated. So I mean, the fact that we were already a point ahead is unsurprising.
Isn't that
Oh,
crazy?
but you're not a point ahead because I'm calling a little foul on a logical fallacy there as the moderator. The fact that it's canon does not decide if it is hokey or a hit.
That's
But
right.
here's my counterpoint.
But it does make it plausible.
It's canon to the post-crisis universe. So we're talking about the cartoon, which is part of the DC animated universe. They're two separate universes. It may be based off of it, but these shows take place. These two stories take place in two separate universes. So which one are we debating, the comic or the show? Because we can't really cross-pollinate both because they're tapping into two separate universes.
Well, the title of the show is Holiday Comics Hits
Ah,
that
shit.
solves that.
or
That
hokey.
solves that. So anything that happened in the animated version does not count.
Well, what we should clarify for you is we don't even have to stick to DC Comics. I have a reindeer comic about a reindeer that learns to use a chainsaw and goes on a massacre for Christmas. So is that
yeah.
See,
hokey?
that sounds like a hokey hit.
Yeah, it
That
does.
sounds freaking
Very
awesome.
hokey.
I'm sorry, that sounds freaking awesome in the worst possible way. I am doing terrible. I am terrible.
I've got my work cut out for me here.
Well, when you're the
I'm
smartest
sorry.
guy on the panel,
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, Dojo-kun, I have failed you.
So, all right, let's get into this. Nick, let's go ahead and start. Why do you feel holiday-themed comics are hokey? Go.
Because they kind of, I feel like they often kind of they go into the trappings of season, a lot of the cliches. Sometimes it's more like, hey, let's just do this story, but with reindeer, or hey, let's meet Santa, and it's just very surface level. Sometimes the story will go kind of more into the themes of the season, and when you get good writers on, but most of the time it's just, hey, we need to do something for Christmas. Here, make us something, and then 5 minutes later, okay, here's my script.
Okay, so you think they're cheap? You think that the process of making them is cheap writing?
Most of the time.
Okay.
There are some that are done well. I'm gonna be fair here and say some of them are done well, but a lot of them are really cheap and just surface level, kind of just oh, Superman meets Santa Claus, and oh, Batman saves Christmas, which I wouldn't be surprised if he has.
Okay,
well, I
so-
think. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say Bandito.
Yeah, I think
with-
cheap writing is a wash as far as the quality of books, or as far as the quality of using holidays as a marketing ploy. Only because there's lots of books out there that are super very poorly written, that are supposed to be
Okay.
mainstream, super, like nothing but the best is supposed to be put forward from those titles and IPs, and the writing comes out as absolute junk. So as far as, if you want to say that the writing is cheap, I mean, you can take a firm stance on that if you want, but I feel that that's just across the board. It doesn't pertain just to holiday books.
Well, you can. I mean, just like holiday books, they reflect the wider, comic landscape of some are good, some are bad. You could say a lot of like I myself.
That is what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying, the fact that like other comic books have bad writing and their wash does not make comic books any less whatever. It's kind of like, I don't know. There's kind of there's a logical fallacy in there. I can't really think of it.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
anyway,
so-
that's just where I stand with it.
I mean, I
Alright,
appreciate your
with that
opinion.
point,
I
with that point.
appreciate it. I just
Yeah.
kind of, you were doing like a counterpoint thing. So that
Yep.
was just my response.
That's what the show's all about. Yeah, you bet. So,
So
my-
can you think of an example of a?
Yes.
I'm supposed to be the one asking
Dojo,
questions.
you who are talking right now, would you like
Yeah.
to do some more talking right now?
You guys are predicting where I'm going to bounce around. Okay, because I can't go from Smiling Bandito to his partner because I don't know, rules or something. But anyway, Dojo, can you give us an example of a book that's a holiday book you find hokey?
Absolutely. And it was meant, I think, to be a little serious. It was a Marvel holiday special. And in it, the X-Men were pursuing Santa Claus because Cerebro identified him. And, after they meet up with him, there's a small like battle, or he's evading all of their powers or whatever. It is revealed that Santa Claus is the most powerful mutant that Cerebro has ever identified. It's like, come on, that is shoehorning, because he stops time long enough to visit every house in the world that a child lives in. So, super hokey. When they have to take characters like Santa Claus and shoehorn them in to the storylines that are typically pretty serious. I mean, not always, but typically when they do that shoehorning, it gets really silly. Now, there was, forgive me for this one. There was an issue of the X-Men where the X-Men left the mansion to go celebrate Christmas, and Kitty Pryde was there alone because she's Jewish. She doesn't care to celebrate Christmas.
Mhm.
But while she was there, a demon from another dimension infiltrates somehow, and she fights it and kills it on her own. It's like, all right, that is set during Christmas time, but isn't a Christmas story. So that one I think gets a bye.
Wait,
But
is there snow on the ground in that book?
There's even a Christmas tree on the cover.
That's a
But-
Christmas book.
Oh yeah, that's like people trying to say Rambo is a Christmas movie just because it takes place during Christmas, and in some of the shots you can see Christmas trees in the background.
Wait, Rambo or Die Hard?
Die Hard.
He meant
Well, Die Hard
yeah.
is a Christmas movie. I will fight you on that.
Okay,
I will.
let's
I
not
will
go down
fight,
the tangent.
I will
Too
fight
late.
you to first blood.
All right, I'm stopping the tangent. I'm gonna pull rank here. No
Yeah,
tangents
that's
on
because Die
movies.
Hard is a Christmas movie.
Okay, but you only got half a point there. Well, first off, Bandito got only 9/10 of a point because of the bad grammar. He said there is books. I'm sorry, you got to match. There are books. There is not a noun. It's books are, and there is an adverb. So there is books, plural. Nope. Subject of the sentence is grammatically is books. Got to match that number there. Anyway, you get half a point there, Dojo, because and I'm as if I'm writing these down, because you named a book that's a holiday book, and it sounds like a Christmas horror story, just like I almost said A Wrinkle in Time, wrong one, Charles Dickens, which is great and a horror story. So anyway, you're playing both. You can't swing both
Okay,
ways
but
on the
that's
stream.
not a comic book.
It's what? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's not a comic book, but I'm saying that the book you named with Kitty Pryde, that sounds
Uh-huh.
like a horror book taking place at Christmas. So it's a Christmas horror, just like Dickens wrote.
But
But-
but it's not
Krampus.
about Christmas at all, because everybody who's celebrating Christmas left the mansion. It's all about her bored because she's watching the mansion until the Nagari demon shows up, and then things get a little spicy.
Well, wait a minute.
Christmas has
Is it a
left the
Hanukkah
building.
book because she's Jewish?
Nope, she's not celebrating anything.
All right. Before I go
No, she's
to
a
Jake,
non-practicing Jew. She's a non-practicing Jew.
Nick, did you have any more to add before I go to Jake?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, Jake. So, what about a not hokey holiday book that you can think of, if any? And Bandito's allowed to help you come up with the title.
No, I haven't read any of the special holiday comics. No, I haven't. But in relation to what Dojo just brought up, I think it has to do a lot with whether or not it being hokey or a hit is using Christmas as a plot device or just a tool to move the story along. And as you said with the one about the reindeer going on, like, it's action spree or whatever.
Mhm.
I think hokiness can be a hit. So, I mean, I know the debate is whether they are hokey or a hit, but I believe hokies can be hits, because if they weren't, I wouldn't have just seen one of the comics still being collected by somebody on the panel.
Okay.
You mean the Chi cover?
The Superman comic that we just saw.
Oh, right. Okay.
I mean, if they were hokey, I think people would just toss them to the wind and have nothing to do with them after, it's said and done.
Well,
But
No,
I believe
I'd say even the hokey comics are going to be collected by someone who's a completist collector. That right there that he just showed you was DC Comics Presents. That is, part of a long ongoing series. It wasn't a holiday special. It's part of a collectible series. So if he's got all the ones before it, he's got that one too.
I see.
So are you
Or-
coming at this from the point of view that only comics that would only appear during the Christmas season, like as their own specified title?
Right. I look
hokey.
at them as like holiday films. There's a place for them, I think. And I think if you keep going back to them, I think that I consider them hits. I mean, hokiness, you can take or leave, but I think if you continuously go back to them, even if for just that one special time during the year, I do believe that they can be considered hits.
Well, I want to see
Well,
some Arbor
the thing
Day
is,
comics then.
I don't necessarily disagree with you. The problem I have with that is it kind of like
course you
nullifies the whole
disagree.
point of this.
No,
If-
we're winning.
I was trying to lead to something, Dojo-kun. Like, what I'm saying is attacking it from that angle of saying, like, yeah, they're hokey, but we love them anyway, kind of completely nullifies the whole point of this debate, because it just like kind of mushes everything into, yeah, it's hokey, but it's still a hit. It's just like they're both at the same time. It just kind of makes this debate kind of pointless.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll still say they're a hit because they hold a place for the individual. I mean, you wouldn't still have that if it didn't mean something to you, whether it's collectible or not. How many times do you still pull those out and read them though, Blue?
These? Yeah. I'd read
See,
them.
so you
comics.
continuously go
The
back
comics,
to
Blue.
them. So I
Just
would
pull out the comics.
Yeah.
I'm missing
Careful.
something there. But, whenever I'm missing something there, I've learned, don't ask what. Just be like, okay, I'll look it up later. We'll just move along. By the way, as far as the completest thing goes, what are you doing in my long boxes, Brian? Seeing what I got.
He's missing a few keys, so he thought he'd borrow them from you.
So to further Jake's point there, though, the thing is, at Christmas time, people are looking for this stuff.
Right.
Like, we want, just to digress a minute and skip over Dojo's rule there, you want the Simpsons Christmas episode. You want to see
Futuramas.
Futuramas, right? You want to see the characters on your favorite sitcoms back in the 90s as they were doing something on Christmas during the time that you were celebrating Christmas, right? We wanted to have that. It's the same thing in comics. I mean, when those December issues are coming out, you want it to be geared around the festivities of, your locale. It actually kind of brings everything closer together. Not only is it not hokey, it is significant. It's like an underpinning of our culture to have these comics that are geared towards our traditions, Yeah. And when it comes to these Christmas specials, not only is it, people might think of it as being hokey, but it's actually meant to create some it's meant to give happiness. It's meant to create that line of alleviate the problems that are kind of around us, the stress, the anxiety of having to get all of our Christmas shopping done, and we sit down and we have this story that's, you know, in tune and in line with where we are in this moment, right?
Well,
And the Oscar for best speech goes to Smiling Bandito.
okay, until this one. Here's the thing, guys. We're
I
talking-
gotta say, I think I picked the wrong side.
God damn.
Wow.
Can you just shift me over to like Bandito? We're all gonna gang up on Dojo-kun now.
Bandito and Jake win every time.
There we go.
Hang on a second.
Like, I'm sorry, I wanted to
Dojo's not having it. He's not having it tonight.
Bandito is like Christmas cheer and positivity, and I just like there's stuff I want to add to it. It's just I'm sorry, you guys win.
So this is the kind of shenanigans that Bandito played.
Jake, you want to switch teams?
I mean, I'm good for whatever, man.
And then he did something like,
I win. There is no rebuttal.
See what I mean? He just declares himself the winner. And if you go back and look, that was way toward the beginning of the show last week. Anyway, so here's the thing. We're talking about hits versus hokey. So, Bandito, you're talking about the fact that they do this on a regular basis every Christmas. Jake said this too. You go back to the holiday hits because people want to see Christmas around Christmas time. But here's the thing. If you look at comic book value, if you start looking through the Overstreet or whatever book you use to value your comics and compare something like when Superman and Green Lantern teamed up in DC Comics Presents versus when Superman teamed up with Santa Claus, I think you'll find that one is a bit more valuable than the other because the thing that had Santa Claus in it was a throwaway. It was just a, yeah, we did this because it's Christmas, not because it's a great story or, you know, it's definitely not one of the more valuable ones if you look at DC Comics Presents. So there's my argument about if it's a hit or not. Did people buy it? I suppose, but if you want to go find it in the back issue books, you probably find 20 or 30 of them sitting there because nobody wants it anymore.
So, okay,
That's
you have
fair, but
I was just going
Go
to say
ahead.
you have an empirical statement for what makes it a hit. What's it a more empirical statement for what makes it hokey? Because hokey is a little bit more subjective.
Yeah, that
As
I
a
gotta
term.
admit that's kind of an issue because I feel like it's like, are we making a subjective argument or are we making an objective argument? Because
I can, there's a lot of hokey things that I can
like-
say
Hokey is a
are
very
huge.
like
subjective
Superman
huge
versus
hits.
Muhammad was hokey and a gimmick, but I mean, people
Super
would still
valuable.
want to collect that one, or
Yeah.
or
you know.
Spider-Man meeting Obama, the Obama
or
issue,
Superman or Captain America slapping the shit out of Hitler. I mean,
So-
gimmick.
But that goes
Spider-Man
back to the
9/11
first
issue.
point I made, Bandito, and that is I feel that they're hokey. That's the first thing I addressed because they shoehorn these in and the stories are no good. They actually make it kind of silly, and I definitely don't like silly.
Well, it's
Well, but
Christmas.
that-
I mean, it's going to be silly. I mean, you got.
There you go.
I
Thank you,
mean,
Jake.
Well, look at it. We're in comic books. We're not really looking for realism. We're looking for escapism.
Oh, but if you avoid realism, let's say in the science of some things,
We're gonna
you'll get
apply
a
science
ton
to
of
Santa?
fans. To what?
We're going to apply science to Santa.
No. But I mean, and neither can you apply science to Superman who flies. But there are other things where people say, well, you couldn't possibly do that because if Superman flies around the Earth backwards 100 million times, it would destroy the Earth rather than turn back time. So there is a certain amount of science that people feel is necessary for the realism of the story, despite the fact that we're talking about superheroes.
Are you
I'd
saying
argue-
Superman could destroy Cher? Is that what's going on here? I'm
do you
sorry,
believe
Nick.
in life after
Oh,
love?
for God's sake! That took me a minute, which is not good because I was a disc jockey.
So I feel like it's not really about realism; it's more about relatability.
What
And,
age of
like-
comics are we pulling these from again?
So like you have a character like Spider-Man who can like walk on walls and has a spider sense, stuff that totally can't happen. Like if you get by a radioactive spider, you get radiation poisoning. Spider-Man is just as unrealistic as Santa, yet we feel closer to Spider-Man than we do with Santa because Spider-Man as a character, as a thing, is more relatable to us. We feel more connected to that character than we do Santa.
I
Both
shake
of them
my
are
belly
equally
like a
Amen.
bowl full of
unrealistic.
jelly every day.
So Nick, you're back on my side. I see. That's good. All right, Ben, Blue. I see you pulled
What?
up the DC
Oh,
Comics
yeah.
Presents
Yeah.
values. So
Okay.
show us what we've got here.
I will. This is Lone Star Comics in Texas, and they have a site, mycomicshop.com. You can use them like a guide. These are retail prices, so consistently at $8 for Very Fine, which is like FN 7+, and consistently, I know because I looked for a long time, consistently sold out for the example in question, number 67. It comes and goes like hotcakes, and I have both versions, the UPC symbol there and the non-UPC symbol, always sold out. So let's look at their eBay, where it's
they're
going
hits.
for, I mean, look at this:
$6.
5, 14, 17, and 44.
So they're
what-
going like hotcakes. That sounds
What
like a
value
hit.
is what grade is the $44 one?
9.6, which is well above the $8 we saw on the other.
Yeah, pretty high. Okay, now look at the other one I use as an example with Green Lantern.
Okay, now do you know what number that is?
It's going to be early, maybe
Okay.
16.
Sure.
That's a very random.
Now, such a lower number is always more valuable, and it is $8. And it's Black
That's not
Lightning.
Green Lantern though.
Yeah. Wait, there's this really cool function, Control F.
There you go. That's the one. What's
Okay.
that? 26. Oh, I had the 6.
This one is, they have scans of it. Woo! For 6.5 grade is 184.
Damn.
It's number 26. And there's an earlier one too.
I'll fess
For
up. The reason
$4.
for that, guys, is there was a insert in the middle of that issue that featured the first appearance of the new Teen Titans.
Yeah.
You're cheating.
Now I
I said-
want that issue.
I said I fess up. Yeah, well, it's pricey.
But
Here's the earlier issue. Sorry about that, Bandito. Number
Nope.
6 is $4 in Fine, and Fine is like 5.5 and lower. Bandito.
No, I was just going to say, I don't think picking random books in order to figure out the market value of a specific thing is necessarily going to solve the debate when we could go to any number of comics that are worth less than the Christmas specials, right?
Yeah,
So
because like for
it
every-
becomes
yeah,
more
like,
collectible, even though that there is fewer of them sold. Even
yeah,
during
like
that
for
time.
every book that is valuable, we can probably pull out 3 or 4 that weren't valuable, which
Mhm.
kind of makes this whole comparison kind of moot because either side can just like point out, right? Like, oh, look at this Christmas book you can get for like 2 cents. Oh, here's one that goes for 10,000. Here's one that
I
goes
think-
for 3. You know,
I
it's
think
like
the winning point. I think the winning point for that information, though, goes towards Jake and I, simply because it is something that people are seeking out and is often sold out. So,
Or the
it
store
is-
just doesn't bother to stock them.
well, we could go to Google and see how many have been, or not Google, eBay, and see how many have been sold, right?
I think we're getting a little petty.
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
It's like,
okay,
I'm just
will-
saying. I think
you
the point
made-
goes
you just
towards
made this
ourselves.
I mean, you literally were making a point about how comparing of numbers are bad, and then I supported it to make it useless, and then you pivoted to say, "Oh, but it actually does matter." So, does it or does not matter? Please tell us.
You talking to
Dojo, would
me?
you feel the same way
Or
if it were Superman teaming up Mr. T with Mr. T dressed as Santa Claus?
Yes, that's hokey.
Now,
But-
if Mr. T was dressed as the Leprechaun, and this was a St. Patrick's Day comic, then you might have my attention.
I think though
think-
the question might have been a little bit inherently flawed, simply because, as you've defined hit, Dojo, there are so many things that are hokey that are still hits. I mean, that are cheesy, campy, any of the things. We don't have a sufficient definition for what takes away from the Christmas specials that drop them out of your that make it where they're only hokey.
You know what, then? What we could say then is even the ones that are hits are hokey. So the ones that are hits are hokey. The ones that aren't hits are hokey. Therefore, they're all hokey. I'm right.
That's what it's all about.
Unless they're hits, in which case we're right.
Phoenix, you
only
keep
when they're
switching
hits.
sides.
But
It's
if
Come
all
on, man.
hokey.
But if all hits are hokies and all hokies are hits, literally this entire debate is meaningless. Thus, we win.
Wow, that's like every single episode we've ever had.
I just wanted to say that I lost.
So, which we are we talking about, Phoenix? Are you talking about Bandito and me, or are you talking about you and Dojo? Because you're just going back and forth.
I'm talking about me.
He's on all the teams.
Okay.
Okay, hey guys, I just wanted to say,
I'm a regular Benedict Arnold here.
yeah, but somebody has to be. Anyway, I wanted to say sorry earlier. I think Jake was right to point out that we're all a little petty, and it's kind of my fault because I just wanted to do the fact check thing on Dojo. You know, with he says if you look in any guide, I'm like I can pull up a guide. Heck yeah! And then it resulted in hell. I apologize.
And then I
to the
went and
chat.
shared your screen. I should have known better.
Setting you up. I have another holiday book here that no, I do not pull out every year and read because I haven't opened it ever. So here we go.
Oh, what is that one?
Noel, Batman Noel.
It is
I love
such
the cover.
it is such a hit. You have never read it.
Are you going to open it right now?
I was waiting to
put
get
gloves
another
on.
copy for my brother before I read it. So
It is
anyway,
the comic
No.
is such a hit.
Gloves.
You have never opened it till now.
Don't do it.
These are so immensely
Don't do it,
valuable.
Anakin.
No,
You can't do it.
collect-
Don't do it,
Select
Anakin.
one, open the other. What the hell are we doing?
this is like
And
the
this is a
80th
Christmas
printing
issue.
of-
We have to treat it with the utmost care because of it being this Christmas.
When
Christmas.
did
Oh,
this become a snuff
jeez.
stream? When
Like
did
my
this become a
heart's
snuff
actually
stream?
sinking right now. I feel kind of bad that we're making them do this.
Making me do what? Put gloves on? No, I just forgot them. I've worn gloves before on stream.
I meant opening
I
the
mean,
package.
Every guy knows no gloves, no love.
What streams were those, Blue?
Yeah. oh.
Comic book streams. Bandito
okay.
can confirm.
Do not drag me into this.
Triple X comic streams.
It's still in shrink wrap, and I'll work. Okay, all right. I won't make Jake feel bad on camera. There we go. Such a tease.
I was digging the torture porn.
No.
Wow, that escalated very quickly.
Wow.
And you play what you can with your hand, man.
Oh, and then there's this one.
Tears aren't a woman's only weapon. The best one's between your legs. Learn how to use it.
I know hers got teeth.
Yeah.
Well, glad I wasn't the one who escalated it to its final form.
Yeah. This whole stream has changed. Like,
Yes.
And nobody was the same after.
Stop it. Get some help.
But what if I am the help?
Oh, boy.
God help us all.
Yeah.
God's gonna sit this one out.
all right. What would for you guys on the nay panel over to the left of the screen? What would for you guys make a comic not hokey while presenting a? And I just want this stated more clearly. I think we've been over it a little bit. While presenting a holiday, even if it's Halloween or Christmas, or anyway, are we doing specifically Christmas?
No, not
Or-
necessarily.
Okay.
No.
Well, what would a comic need to do in order to not be hokey with its holiday theme?
Okay.
Well, the problem with the thing is, I kind of reject the whole extending it to all holidays because, like, there's certain themes and dare I say, kind of morals and like there's a certain like purity with Christmas
Mhm.
that doesn't really extend to a lot of the other holidays. Like, say for example, Halloween. You know,
He doesn't
Halloween
like
doesn't have
Nick
themes.
doesn't like the sacrificing on Halloween. I get you.
Oh, I sacrifice a virgin every October 31st. So shut the F up.
Where the hell do you
You'll be
find
next.
those?
You'll be next.
He
I
he
just-
orders
I just
them.
put a-
They're the covers without the trade dress on them. That's all.
Oh, okay.
No, I go on to Reddit and I just throw a dart.
We are not Redditors. You have dropped that joke in the wrong panel.
No idea what that's about. Yeah.
I'm sure
Okay,
someone
back-
out there will get it.
Back to the topic, Nick. So,
Yeah.
you want to limit it to Christmas? That's cool with me. So, what about Christmas comics would make them not hokey? How does that need to be corrected in your view?
For me, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I'm sure these books exist. Is the ones that kind of like genuinely go into like the themes of it, you know, kind of like what it means, kind of beyond Christmas, or you know, like they're like say like this is kind of going more into like the Christmas special where it's like you have Martian Manhunter learning about the themes of Christmas and like, oh, this is what it means, or just kind of the feel good stuff. Like there's a reason the Hallmark specials are so popular.
Because they're hokey,
Exactly.
That's
Very
admired.
which makes them a hit.
So here's the
Which
thing.
makes this whole debate pointless.
So the comic books that would handle it and not be hokey, Blue, would be those that had Christmas occurring but didn't try to teach me anything about it. It's just that maybe
It's
there's
a
a Christmas
background.
tree in the mansion, okay? And
So
clearly,
Rambo.
No, it's not Rambo. It's Die Hard you're talking about.
No, there's a Christmas tree in Rambo, so it's exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
You
All
just
right, well-
admitted that the Kitty Pryde book from earlier is a Christmas book
Oh,
Me?
snap.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
because Christmas was
I
happening.
said it was
but
happening
not
during
teaching you.
Christmas. That's exactly why that one was held up as an example of not hokey. Christmas was happening, but it wasn't a Christmas story. It was her fighting a demon.
I feel at this
agree.
point I have to promise that we did not pay Nick to undermine you.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, no, I swear it just did not happen.
Nefarious Die Hard is Christmas.
I'm fighting the entire panel here because we've got
Well,
Nick
when you're the
being
smartest
traitorous.
guy on the panel,
We've got Nick being traitorous. We've got Blue pointing out flaws in my logic. This is not working out for me, and I'm the host. I could kick you all,
Oh, it's not just logic. It's not just your logic. Sorry, everyone here is fallacious.
I mean, this whole thing is just an exercise in futility. I'm just having fun.
Well, yeah, that's the point of the stream.
And therein lies the whole purpose. You got it. Oh boy! All right, so Blue, is there anything else that we need to do with this?
Oh,
but what do you think? Do you think it's possible for Christmas comics to not be hokey? Do you think it's a goal that could be achieved?
Do I think it's possible? Yes. I think that just like we often say about the mainstream, it doesn't have to be mainstream, but we often mention this about the mainstream, is they're trying to teach us lessons far too often. Just tell us a story. You don't have to teach me about Christmas to have Christmas in the story. Same thing with, Halloween, Arbor Day. I don't even care what holiday, holiday you're talking
An
about.
Arbor Day comic. I wanted to make an Arbor Day comic so bad now.
Yeah, Groot, Swamp Thing, Man Thing. It'd be cool.
Oh my God, Marvel's missing a green opportunity there.
That's right.
I think the vast majority of the population, though, would ask when that comic comes out. The very first thing they're going to ask is, "What's Arbor Day?" And
Yeah.
this actually gets me back. This gets me back to for Christmas when we're actually now looking for these books and that type of thing. It is because we're in the spirit of the holidays, right? And even if you want to say that it's hokey, it's in line with the public perception of that month. And for me, I think we could come up with an empirical definition for what makes it hokey or not hokey, in that, if you were to, it's because the definition of hokey is very subjective. What makes it subjective is the attitude that the people receive it in. And when it's kind of like for girls, the difference between someone flirting with them or being creepy is how much the girl is attracted to the guy. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that meme, with like, "Hey Shannon, looking good today." It's like the attractive guy, she's all into it. The ugly guy, she's literally calling HR.
Yeah, but I think you're bleeding into the question I did want to ask you and Jake there, Bandito, which was
Fire away.
What and how much hokiness do you tolerate in your holiday books that you feel are hits?
Well, for me, hokiness, as I was getting at, comes to what it is I'm actually looking for in that book. And even though there's a lot of stuff that can be campy or cheesy, like in movies like Army of Darkness or something like that, we know that stuff can be significantly successful if it's received, if you're watching it with the right audience. And I think that if it's hokey,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm laying down gold here, Nick. You just need to give me a moment.
Go ahead. I got myself. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so when it comes to whether or not it's a hit or or hokey, it comes down to the audience that it's meant for. And during Christmas time, you want to have as broad of an audience as possible, right? You want that book to be able to go from kids to parents to everyone, that all the collectors, all the completionists, everybody. It needs to pertain to, and it's also an opportunity to bring new fans into the genre. And so making it as accessible as possible often ends up initially looking hokey or cheesy because it's offbeat typically from what the comic was the month prior. And just because it's offbeat though does not mean that it's not a hit. And so they have these great opportunities. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for these books to bring in new fans. It is meant to be broad appeal. And I think that when it comes to it being hokey or not is, it's in the eye of the beholder, because these books do end up becoming exceedingly collectible.
Bandito, this might be a great time. If that wasn't your final thoughts, this might be a good time to do that before we pull up.
Nope.
Nick's
Go for
book.
the
Right. Because we don't want Jake adding to your answer at all.
You can't fire me. I quit. That's like
Yeah.
right now.
And Nick, just so you know,
before I get even more beaten.
Yeah, you go for the campaign, and then I give final thoughts at the end of the show.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bandito's always got to have the last word.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's intentional. So what we have now,
Because Jake's not
It's in my
saying
contract. Yeah, it's in my contract.
I have nothing else to give, man. I feel like we won.
I know, right?
Don't break it. You want it.
We need a team name, Jake.
We have a wiener.
speaking of winning,
Congratulations, you're all dicks.
here is okay, Nick. I'm trying to get to your campaign now. Nick, this is speaking of winning. This is Nick's campaign, Screecher #1, As the Owl Flies. As you can see by what we show here on the screen, it is fully funded and in demand. So, Nick, why don't you walk us through? Unless you'd like me to start with the trailer, do you want me to do that?
Yeah, that'll be a good tone setter.
Okay.
My name is Avery Fletcher. After 7 years away, I have come home with only one goal: to save my father. But to do that, I can't be the woman I once was. To honor my father's legacy, I must become someone else. I must become something else. I must become Screecher.
Cool. Lenore's a good choice for voiceovers.
Yes, she did an amazing job, and she actually kind of helped did some last-minute logo work for the cover. It turned out really well.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right. So what can you tell us about it?
So, Screecher is a story of a young woman named Avery Fletcher who is brought back to her hometown of Ann Arbor, Michigan after 7 years away. No bigs, you're distracting me. And so basically, her, the father's been jailed for a crime he did not commit, and now she must take up the mantle of Screecher in order to save her father from uncertain death.
Uncertain death?
Yes, basically, the corporation is they're trying to get this information out of him, so they're gonna use this type of truth serum that's gonna get their information, but it's probably gonna kill him. She has week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even less to either clear his name or just stop the process, or her dad's gonna die.
I see.
So it's a literal race against the clock.
That's an excellent cover.
Yeah, who did this cover?
Xevious, actually. Xevious is the one who handled it, and yeah, he did an amazing job. Xevious was a joy to work with. Oh my god, he's a really nice guy. He did an amazing job on the cover. I'm definitely gonna be working with him again.
Excellent. That's always great
Cool.
to hear.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
And
let's
then
see. So it's 22 pages, right? And
yep.
you kept it super simple, which in some ways I appreciate quite a bit. You've got a digital and the physical. And the physical
Well,
here,
this is well, it was. I did have more, but like after the campaign ended and I started to ship stuff out, I kind of pared things back.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's a good methodology. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, originally I had digital, physical. I had like a goodie bag where you can get like a stickers and like a set of trading cards, holo comic, and then there was like everything together with like a holo card, and then like I had a collector's edition tier where you got a third comic, which was like the talent edition. It's like hand numbered, hand lettered, and when there's a print signed by both me and Xevious.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, pretty sweet.
Devious signed it. How are you managing that? Are you Canadian?
I'm American, and
Okay.
I paid handsomely. I actually have one of the talent editions, my personal copy, actually. And basically, the way we did it is he did the prints on his end. He signed them, and then he sent them to me.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
To which I then signed them and then shipped them off to my distributor, my fulfillment person, Critical Blast.
Yep. Right here. Good to work with
Mhm.
him. Yep.
Oh yeah, he's a joy to work with.
So
And then,
it says, what do you get for your support? I see 6 a.m. Can't have a campaign without 6 a.m. And another great one by him.
Oh, yep. I literally have the stickers right here. They came out so well.
Do I need to? Oh, okay. No, I was checking to see if you wanted to be in Biggin, but here we can see a big picture.
I mean, if you want me to go big in,
No,
I can kind of show you.
It's cool.
Well, I
We
probably
got-
will. Show out kind of everything, then I'll kind of show you the goods here in a second.
All right. So what is this here?
That's the model of the trading card. So basically, you get like a set of 3 trading cards with the goodie bag. It's basically Screecher and then 2 of the other characters, and then with a $50 tier, you got an additional holographic card where it's basically just that one, just like the front of it's like holographic.
Oh, you were saying hollow as in HOLO. When you were saying it, I thought you meant HOLLOW, and I was like, what does he mean, a hollow card? Gotcha.
Sorry, it's my
Yeah,
Midwestern drawl.
Hollow, right? It's not a hallowed
no.
card either.
It's not hallowed?
So
Maybe.
the prints, the prints that are with the talent edition, they were printed in Canada, but like the bulk of the comics were printed by Comics Wellspring here in Michigan.
Okay. Here in Michigan, fellow Michigander. All right. See another reason you teamed up with me.
Nefarious has a question for you. So somebody picked them up from the print. All right, did you print them in Canada? He wanted to make sure he heard you correctly.
Yeah, basically that's how it is. I basically kind of I basically paid out of pocket for a lot of the printing stuff. Like basically X charged me. Actually, I'm not going to say the amount, but it was a fairly significant amount to have him print them, his time, and then to ship them to me. And then I paid out of pocket to ship those to RJ. So there is kind of a good bit of this out of pocket.
Nefarious has another question. Will there be a Screecher crossover with Mark Poulton's Black Owl?
Oh,
The best I can say is I'm not opposed to it. If he wanted to do a crossover, I would be more than willing to team up to a collab with him. So on my end, I'm open and willing. So just Mark, reach out to me. It's not something I'm like pushing to do, but if he wants to do it, I am more than happy to. So that's literally the best I can say.
He would definitely be a great one to team up with. I mean, look at how he pulled John Malin out of obscurity. Kidding.
hey, Muttman, it's good to see you're here.
Yeah, Muttman's here.
Hey.
See, now I
Yeah.
feel special. Like it's the gang. This is the gang getting back together. Muttman is here. I've never hung
Yeah,
out with him.
Screecher came out honestly so well, better than I literally could have hoped. Everything just kind of came together with this comic, and people's response to it has honestly been it's just flabbergasted me because like my last campaign, I broke $1,000, which is cool. This one, you guys literally doubled it, and I'm just like, oh my god,
that is great.
Like,
Yep,
it is so crazy.
I'm just astounded. Like $10 for a print copy in color, et cetera, et cetera. You know, like whoa, that's.
I mean, to be fair, that is shipping's extra.
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah.
But even with shipping, I'm seeing a very reasonable price.
I try to keep it reasonable. I mean, with a lot of these campaigns, I end up paying for some stuff out of pocket. But I mean, basically, my aim is I'm trying to build up to a trade because that's kind of where the real money is kind of heading now. So I'm basically kind of just, it's more just breaking even and then building up to the trade is basically that's my end goal. So these are kind of just sorry.
And I should say for clarification, I'm seeing a reasonable total. So if you say, wait, shipping is this, is that reasonable? The grand total is still reasonable. Just there.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's basically $19 ship. The shipping was determined by both me and Critical Blast because he's the one kind of shipping it. He gave me what he recommended the price to be, and that kind of set that from there. And people have already gotten their comics. Basically, I'm doing a wave 1 and then a wave 2. Wave 1 was shipped out like a week or two ago, and that was for all the people who got the $10 tier, and that was like the bulk of people. And they've got it. They seem to like it. Wave 2 is basically everyone else is going to be shipping out early January. I literally just sent the last of the items to Critical Blast today, which was the prints and the stickers. I was just kind of waiting for everything to come and then kind of send the rest to him. So I literally just sent those out today. So those are going to get to him, and we'll have it ready by very early January to ship it out, if not earlier.
So for those of us who jumped on the bandwagon late and got the $10 tier because after all of the extras aren't available any longer, is that wave 3?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much those are going to be handled by me myself. Those will also be, anyone who buys will still be getting a Gemini mailer and bubble wrap and all that stuff. It's going to be done by me, so like the packaging may look a little bit different from the way Critical Blast does it, but like I still make sure that it's sent well.
Okay, excellent. Good to hear.
At some point, I'll be transitioning to a print-on-demand service. Like I would like to do Global Comics, but I don't think their service is ready yet. So I'm probably going to do Indie Planet, and that's where you'll be able to get your physical comics for the time being.
Okay, yeah, Indie Planet's a good one. I use Indie Planet for my print-on-demand. So let me just ask before we go to final thoughts and socials, could you tell me, is there anything else you want to touch on real quick?
If you could, can I turn on my cam and kind of show you guys the comic and like the stickers?
All right, let me go over to StreamYard and I will embiggen you. Solo layout.
All right, so this is an example of the Talon edition. This is my personal copy. This is a copy of the Screecher comic. See, it's like, numbered and whatnot. And then this is the print in the back of it. Let's kind of see it. There is ZV's signature right there.
Oh, yeah.
This is just more, and then this is like the hollow foil comic. So there's this one is spot foil, like, and whatnot. And this one is the full hollow foil and whatnot.
Okay.
Also, Xevious included this. This is just for me. Like, he just kind of made that for me. Yeah, I wanted to show that off.
You're a tease.
Yeah. And then a couple of other things.
Yeah, he says, yeah.
Here's the holographic card. What it kind of looks like. No back, just kind of setting expectations. Sorry, just glare. There you go. You can kind of see the stuff there. And then the best part, these are the 6 a.m. stickers.
Very nice.
They came out so well. I'm so happy.
I love it. I love that it's die cut too. It's not just a rectangle or an oval.
Yeah, I honestly, I would have had it no other way. Like there's no other way I would have done this because it's just, I don't know, just doing something like this without die cut just didn't seem right.
Agreed. All right then. Well, thanks for showing us that. I'm gonna bring you back down to. Whoops. Nope, I didn't mean to kick him. There we go.
How dare you?
I should have kicked you when you turned traitor on me. Anyway,
I'm too adorable to kick.
Okay.
You're not a kitten, okay?
Meow.
So at
no.
3 minutes to the top of the hour, Bandito, what are your final thoughts about this false bifurcation fallacy Wednesday?
Well, I mean, the reality is marketing has become this hellraiser puzzle box of our modern age, right? And easily the most coveted, actionable secrets that anyone trying to sell everything from parkas to toilet seats can unlock. You know, it's financially validating and tortuously resistant to being found. So how do we bring in an audience and convince them we're all the same people and are able to understand each other? Seasonal stories, traditional touchstones, reminders of simpler times when we celebrated more of the magic, more of the memories of the joys from when we were younger. We want to be reminded that the world doesn't only exist to stress us out. We want to be given a moment to enjoy simpler things in life, and corporations will always package it up and sell them to us. So when it comes to being a hit, I think the corporations find it financially beneficial to keep producing these comics, or else they wouldn't. And there is always, though, the reality that these cold corporate stories are going to be bitterly received, whether that's because they don't warm us or hit the mark for the stories we're looking for, or if it's simply bitter humbugs wanting, they're not wanting to see Punisher dressed up as Santa Claus. When it comes to all of this stuff, hokey or not, I think there's room for all of it, and we need it. Otherwise, those traditions start to slip away.
Is there a Punisher dressed up as Santa Claus? I gotta get that.
Yes, that was in
Let's
that
Google
opening
it.
montage.
Oh, okay. That's probably when I was getting another book out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
you.
Bandito.
Yeah, the rap is a good one. That's why we asked him to do that, Nick. That's in his contract, like he said. So what we're going to do now, Nick, where can we find you in the socials?
You can find me and all of my dank memes at Twitter at Project Access 1. I'm also on Twitter where I'm also on YouTube where I make really cringy live streams and different theme videos. Just search Phoenix Press on YouTube. I got a couple other ones, but they're not really important right now. So,
okay, Bandito, where can we find you?
I'm Michael Sherwood, or Smiling Bandito, wherever social media reaches, and you can find me on Twitter under all of that. And of course, we've got our own books coming out. Lots of projects in the future. Be sure to connect because 2024 is going to be a massive year.
All right. Do you mean 2024?
Yeah, isn't it? What year is it right now? 2023. 2023 is going to be a massive year.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
okay.
I thought you were planning way ahead. All right. Jake, where can we find you in the socials?
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Tail End Studio or Bionic Bruh. And you can find me here every Wednesday with you fine gentlemen. Don't forget to neuter your pets.
and spray them as well. Don't forget to spray and neuter your pets. If you want to go full Bob Barker, do the whole bit.
All right.
For the holidays.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Happy holidays, pets. Oh my goodness.
Happy holidays, except for Fido.
He's being banished. His gift is a cone and an empty crotch.
I can be found on Twitter, and then I can also be found on Rumble, where I will be uploading videos I pre-record. I'm still trying to figure out how to stream to Rumble. It looks like that's a paid feature, except that they synchronize with whatever I stream to YouTube. So I did want to prioritize Rumble, but I'll only be doing that on my pre-recorded stuff, and then so Rumble first, and then YouTube a little bit, like the next day kind of thing. I'm on those, and on Mondays I'm doing an unboxing stream every Monday night at earliest 8:30 Eastern. So time might shift a little. We don't know. With Nefarious, who's in the chat here. So I do have, the show is saved for Monday. I actually got something in the mail.
Nope.
So yay. That's going to wait till Monday night, and it is a little bit of an open mic where I do have some standing invitations out there, like to Luke Stone if he wants to jump on, because he said he has a huge pile to open. But if people want to come on and either unbox something that they've gotten in the past week, or just that they've gotten from independent comics, or even if it's a straight order and not a crowdfund campaign, but independent comics, come open your delivery on our stream with us, just to gush over it a little, have some fun. Or if you are like Arrogant Ape and you can't help yourself but open them at the door before you get back in the house, then if it's less than 2 weeks
dangerous.
old, yeah. So if it is, he calls himself an ape. I'm sure it's pretty violent, but how do the books survive? Anyway, if it's less than 2 weeks old, feel free to hit me up during the stream so I can get you the link, and then let you come on and say, hey, I'm really happy this thing came in, and you just want to show it off. So
awesome. On all the socials, I can be found at Dojo Kun Comics. This show, of course, every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And there's a short form video that posts every night at midnight about a wide variety of topics on this same channel, as well as my website, dojokuncomics.com, where you can get books that I previously published, print to order, like we mentioned a few minutes ago, via Indie Planet. Thank you all for being here, the panel, the people in the chat, and those of you who watch on the replay. We appreciate you all. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and we'll see you next week.
Hail and Merry Christmas.
Bye. Have a good night.